Greetings, kiddos! Welcome to Pumptonian's latest edition of the Nutrition News. This month, we will be discussing the Dietary Guidelines. It's me here, Tony Bowman, your dietitian, and I am here with our very special co-host, Dr. Jill.
Hi, Tony. It's great to be back with you. Hello, everyone.
March is a very special month. Why? Because it's National Nutrition Month. The theme this year is Personalize Your Plate. What's new and exciting in the world of nutrition? Well, the Dietary Guidelines for Americans were recently updated. In honor of National Nutrition Month, I want to share all of the important updates with you.
Before we dive into the new and improved dietary guidelines, I must say, listen up. Why? There are so many health benefits associated with following a healthy eating pattern, such as having more energy, getting better sleep, having improved brain function and mental health, optimizing physical fitness, and lowering the risk of obesity and heart disease. This should sound a little familiar. A little background on the dietary guidelines. They are updated every 5 years, and they provide us with information on what makes a healthy eating pattern.
The meals you eat in school follow a meal pattern in line with the Dietary Guidelines. Most schools follow the National School Lunch Program meal pattern that is created based on the Dietary Guidelines for Americans. For example, have you noticed this school year there is always a milk with your lunch? The milk is a required meal component of the National School Lunch Program. So, what do you need to know? There are 4 key principles to guide us in making healthful food choices. First, the foods and beverages we eat and drink impact our health. Following a healthy eating pattern at every stage of life can help us achieve and maintain good health. Plus, it helps us reduce our risk of chronic diseases. Second, customize and enjoy nutrient-dense food and beverage choices to reflect personal preferences, cultural traditions, and budgetary considerations. The Dietary Guidelines provide us with a framework that can be customized to meet everyone's needs. Let us circle back to this year's theme for National Nutrition Month. Personalize your plate. Kiddos, are you noticing a pattern? Each of you can follow a healthy eating pattern that is customized to your unique needs. Make every bite count is a phrase used to guide us in making healthful food choices. 85% of the foods we eat and drink should come from nutrient-dense sources. 15% of the food choices can be made up of food choices higher in added sugars, saturated fat, and sodium.
An important term to know is nutrient-dense. Nutrient-dense foods and beverages provide vitamins, minerals, and other health-promoting components and have little added sugar, saturated fat, and sodium. Examples of nutrient-dense foods include kiwi, spinach, kale, quinoa, barley, and blueberries.
The third principle focuses on the core food groups that make up 85% of your diet. In other words, the nutrient-dense foods. The first core food group is vegetables of all types. This includes dark green, red, and orange, beans, peas, lentils, starchy, and other vegetables. Each vegetable's color is a clue as to what kind of health benefits it might possess. The second core food group is fruits, and we want to focus on eating whole fruits. The third core food group is grains, and at least half of your grains should be whole grains. Examples of whole grains include quinoa, brown rice, and whole wheat bread. Another core food group is protein, and this includes lean meats such as poultry and eggs, seafood, beans, peas, lentils, nuts, seeds, and soy products. Our last food group is oils, or better yet, good-for-you oils. These include vegetable oils and oils in food such as seafood and nuts.
If we focus on 85% of our food choices coming from nutrient-dense foods, we can get all the nutrients we need to be strong and healthy while staying within our calorie limits. Does this sound familiar? We briefly discussed this in the first edition of Nutrition News.
The fourth guideline states, limit foods and beverages higher in added sugars, saturated fat, and sodium. These foods are okay to have in moderation or as a treat, but they do not provide us with all the health benefits the nutrient-dense foods provide. Let's talk about added sugar. There is a difference between sugars being added to food versus naturally occurring sugars. Many foods, such as fresh fruits, contain natural sugars. Fruits not only contain sugar, but they also contain vitamins and fiber. Baked goods, on the other hand, contain added sugar, but not much else. Moving on to saturated fat. Saturated fat naturally occurs in many foods, especially from animal sources, such as pork, poultry, butter, and cheese. They are typically solid at room temperature. Too much saturated fat can raise our cholesterol levels. And now let's discuss sodium. It is an essential nutrient, but is only needed in small amounts. Our bodies need sodium to maintain a fluid balance and send nerve impulses. Sodium also affects muscle function, but too much sodium can increase our blood pressure. To reduce your sodium intake, limit the amount of processed foods you eat. Avoid adding salt at the table and flavor your food with spices. Let's look at a few examples of nutrient-dense meals served at school. Cheerios with a graham cracker, fresh fruit, juice, and a milk. The cereals and graham crackers served for breakfast are whole grain rich. Whole grains provide our bodies with fiber, which is good for our digestive system and makes us feel full. The juice is 100% juice. Juice does have sugar, but it is naturally occurring, and juice also has vitamins. Now let's look at a lunch meal. All white meat chicken tenders with a whole grain split top dinner roll, baby carrots, orange smiles, and a milk. You might be thinking, why are chicken tenders good for us? The chicken tenders are made with lean chicken breast and are breaded with whole grain breadcrumbs. This meal also contains fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and a milk.
So how does your body receive benefits from eating healthy foods? You have more energy because your body gets fueled with building blocks necessary to give you an abundance of energy throughout the day. Your body finds it easier to sleep because a balanced diet sends signals to your body that it is in a safe, nourished place, which decreases stress and allows for quality sleep at night. As we went over in our previous edition of Nutrition News, Mood and Food, when we feed our gut healthy bacteria through a balanced, healthy diet, we can increase our mental clarity, decrease brain fog, and decrease the potential for episodes of depression and anxiety. When you fuel your body with optimal nutrients and vitamin-rich foods, you optimize your physical performance because your musculoskeletal system can work in harmony with your cardiovascular system to allow for increased speed, strength, and endurance. We lower our risk of obesity and heart disease because eating nutrient-dense foods can lower inflammation in your body, which is the cause of so many illnesses.
Kiddos, I leave you with one of my favorite sayings. Always create a colorful plate. When making meal choices, add variety so you gain the benefits each food group has to offer. If you do this, you will be making every bite count.